There's a good one.
There we go. All right, I'm just gonna swing them in here on the boat flip. Stay on there,
Nice
fish. There we go. There we go. And I want to point out, real quick, let me get control of my equipment, guys. I apologize. I'm all discombobulated, but that's a big one, and it takes a minute. Look where that hook is. When that hook's buried in the gristle, you bury that Fusion 19 through the gristle like that, it ain't coming off. That one ain't coming off. No matter how hard you pull, you're gonna break something before he comes off. And I mean, that's buried in there. There's the June Bug Pit Boss, June Bug colored Berkeley Pit Boss in the power bait line, and chunky Minnesota largemouth, and I will put him back next to where we got him. And you look at this cover right here, guys. I mean, that's got Florida written all over. Look at that. Watch him, he'll jump. Ready? He's gonna jump. This is where the Revo Rocket, the high-speed 10-to-1 gear ratio, is very, very important, because you pitch, you bounce the bait once or twice, wind it back to full speed, and then you're ready to pitch again. And you can make the most possible pitches. Well, if you look ahead of us, there's a million, possibilities of places to throw. And so the more pitches you can make, the more chance you can of hitting all these little pockets. And so the Rocket's super efficient for doing that, and that's the whole point of it. Taking in over 40 inches of line every time you go around the handle, and a drag that goes all the way to stop, like stop. So when I set the hook on this 65-pound braid, it's not gonna slip. There's gonna be no give, because if it does give and I set the hook in here, the fish are gonna swim into all this stuff and you're never gonna get them out. So the Rocket's just really an ideal reel for this. And it's kind of counterintuitive, because you think, oh, it's a fast reel for a fast, for fast bait. So it's actually a very slow bait as far as presenting it goes. It's just very fast for getting it back to the boat so that you can make more pitches with it. And it comes down to efficiency. How many pitches can I make in a day? And in the amount of time it's taken me to tell you that, I've probably made 10 pitches. And that's really important for getting a bunch of fish caught. There you go. I'll get the boat. Hang on, I got the boat. You got it?
Yeah.
You gonna boat flip him?
I'll boat flip him.
Okay, I'll get out of the way then. Here he comes, nice one. There's the one we're looking for. Well done, sir. I want to point out real quick before anything even happens, look at the size of this sinker. We just spent 10 minutes waiting for Steve to retie so he could have this great big sinker, because again, we've made multiple passes. When we come back in here, now we got to get farther back in to get to fish we hadn't accessed previously, and that's a chub. Another interesting thing about borrowing rods from a guy is you never know what you're going to get into. And I was smart enough, knowing that we were going to be fishing a lot of heavy cover, and he said we might be pitching and flipping at some point. I brought my pitch and flipping reels. I brought both Revo Rockets, which are the fastest of all the reels with the 10-to-1 gear ratio. But also I brought some ALF reels, which are 8-to-1 ratios, very fast reels. What I didn't have was my great big flipping stick, and I lament a little bit about that, because the rod I borrowed from him was a shorter. It was heavy power, but it was shorter. It was only 7'3", and it wasn't really a true flipping stick. It was more of a pitching rod. And when we got around the heavy cattails, which kept looking juicier and juicier to me, I really wanted to have this rod. This particular Veracity is 7'9", heavy powered, moderate fast. So it's made for close range, point blank range, very heavy sinkers and very heavy braid. If you notice, it's got a full grip. So you've got lots of places to grab for a two-handed hook set should you need it, which makes sense when you look at some of the cover. It's got 65-pound Berkeley X5 braid on it. It is a very beefy pack. It's the beefiest bass rod I own all the way around. It's got a 3/4 ounce tungsten sinker on it right here, and a Berkeley Pit Boss, which was the same rig that we threw back in Minnesota. Had I had this particular rod, I would have been more efficient. And to be honest, I'm splitting hairs a little bit, but I would have been more efficient with this setup. This is more of a true flipping rod for fishing heavy cattails, and it's the rod I would fish with it. I had all my arsenal with me while I was back in Minnesota.
I'm just gonna drop stuff in here.
Got him.
Got him. There you go, nice fish.
Come on up in
There
here,
you
buddy.
go.
Come on up in here, buddy. That was real graceful right there. That was super graceful right in there, buddy. Let me just show you how smooth I am.
I told you we were gonna get bitten
He
here.
did. I'll give you credit. Mr. Pennaz called that one. And guys, there you go. And if you wonder why we throw the rocket and the big braid and the heavy rod, that's why. That don't even look like liquid water. And they get a lot bigger than that. Don't get me wrong, guys, but that is a fun way to catch them. Here, I'll put him back here. You guys can see how thick this water is. Look how green that water is. And like I said, they get a lot bigger. But I'll take that all day long. Woo, he's mad. You see a little algae bloom, you see how thick this is, and all those little holes, perfect for largemouth to sit in.